Welcome to this activation live transmission, which is Your Light is Magnificent. Yesterday I just felt my cells like wanting to burst with all this energy, all this kind of light. It was like, this moment where you kind of build up with your own energy, or you build up with your own soul, or you've alchemized enough of your thoughts and your ideas and who you are and your learnings and your awakenings, and it's all kind of alchemized together to be into this one force, and it's just popped open and popped through. And so this is what happened to me yesterday. I was like, I could feel all this energy just wanting to kind of come out into the world and re-gift life. And I was like, what am I going to do with all this energy and light? I was like, let's do a live. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how magnificent your light is, because this moment is something that we all come into contact with. This moment is something that we all arrive to. This moment where we build up with our own soul light inside of ourselves, and it just wants to come out and live more life. It wants to come out and manifest. It wants to come out and create. These are very special moments in our lives where we have built up enough light in our system for it to naturally want to burst through and bless life, or revolutionize life, or upgrade life, or make some changes, or make some actions, or whatever it is. But it's a very powerful moment. And it's a powerful moment because the only way that your light can start to build up inside of you to create this kind of natural explosion or burst, right, is when you have had enough awakenings inside yourself, i.e., you have come to enough clear thoughts, clear perceptions, clear awarenesses, clear truths about who you are, or who you are in this world, or why you're here, or enough clear thoughts of what reality is, right? And who you are in reality, without your ego interfering, or without your criticism interfering, or without the voice of your mother or your father, or the labels you've been given interfering and muffling you, right? When we get enough clarity of who we are, our light within us naturally starts to build up. It starts to kind of layer itself like bricks inside. When you've had enough awakenings, life puts us through some very interesting tests and challenges, right? And we have many experiences where we get awakenings from them, where we awaken out of the density, where we awaken out of our limitations, where we awaken out of the illusions that we've got going on inside our relationships, where we awaken out of, who we thought we were. When we've had enough awakenings layer up within us, it's also another way that our light starts to build within us. And so everything that you've gone through, every challenge that you've had, every heartbreak, every horrible experience, you have learned so much that it's made you awaken. It's made you become more aware of who you are. It's made you become more aware of life. And all of this builds within you. It builds, it builds, it builds, it builds. So, I know sometimes, and this is why I really wanted to do this live, is that sometimes, we can do a lot of work to build our light. We can do a lot of healing. We can do a lot of things that build our light: yoga, breath work, I don't know, dancing, free movements, healing, whatever the journey is that you've done to build your light. And sometimes we get a little bit distracted or discouraged because we feel that sometimes in moments of our life, what we've worked for, or the light that we've worked for, can sometimes feel like it gets lost, or it gets diminished, or you get pulled in the tidal waves of life, or you get a hormonal, especially if you're a woman, you get a hormonal tide of, anger or depression, or there are days where the weather's not great and you can feel very heavy and you feel like you lose your light. You feel like you lose who you are. And then you're like, and there's a part of you that's like, well, where am I? I've done all this work to try and find myself, to try and heal, to try and awaken, to try and become one with love, right? And yet it goes so quickly. It doesn't seem to last. And I just want to let you know that sometimes life does give these weird waves of experience that diminish the light, our sense of our light inside of ourselves, and it's okay. But I want to let you know in this live right here that it doesn't get lost. That light that you've built inside of you, those great positive beliefs that you've built inside of you, those awakenings of truth that you've built inside of you, those choices to make love that you've built inside of you, those decisions to honor yourself and put yourself first and who you are first, it all builds inside of you. It can't get taken away. It builds like, blocks of light within you. And even if at times it feels like you move away from this good, strong foundation of who you are, your soul, I want to let you know that those blocks of light that you've built inside of you can never be taken away. All that's required is in these moments of these tidal waves and these tsunamis of life and these challenges and these heartbreaks and these chaoses and these weird stimulus that we get from the news and the world and the war and all of that distortion, it doesn't take away from the light that you've built inside of yourself. And this is very important that you remember this. All it requires is that you learn to refocus who you are, right? You learn to re-identify, that you learn to retune back into these building blocks of who you are, that you learn to see through the muffles and the distortions better and quicker and clearer, that you learn to feel supported, upheld, motivated, strengthened by the light that's within you, that you learn to feel it more, that you learn to see it more, that you learn to speak it more so that it becomes more present. And so really, the biggest key in all of this is know that all the light that you've worked for are really strong foundation blocks inside of you, and it can never be taken away. And number two, the next part of the journey, once you know this, is to just keep letting it exist more and more throughout your body and throughout your system. The more that you can use your own light, your soul, to see through things more and more and more, the quicker you're going to be able to move through life, right? With your visions, you'll be able to notice where things are not in alignment and where this person's out of integrity with you, or where you need to readjust things to keep moving forward, right? We're learning to strengthen our vision with our own light, and this is something we need to practice, just like breathing, right? Can you strengthen your visions, your perceptions of self, your ability to see with your own light from your eyes out, right? And this is why, for me, embodying your soul's brilliance is so important. We can't, yeah, we can have visions, we can have a connection to our light, but have we learnt to connect our light through our eyes so that we can really see the world and the truth that's going on? And so sometimes the next part of the puzzle is to actually let that light birth more and more and more through your senses, through your hearing, through your voice, through your actions, through your hands, through what you choose to do, and let that part of you birth more and more and more. And so you get these moments in time, which is what I had yesterday, where everything just coalesced together, right? I knew I had built so many foundations of light inside of me. I know I've gone on a journey of embodying who I am, to see life, to see my truth and what I am. And there was a moment where all of this coalesced together. It alchemized, it merged my gifts, my talents, my positive beliefs, the love that's inside of me, the work that I've done to breathe my soul through my body, through every cell. And it all kind of alchemized because, and this is key, right? It alchemized, and I thought, now I'm ready to burst into a new level of life, a new level of life. Like, I'm ready to gift life with a whole new energy, right? A whole new lot of teachings, a whole new lot of visions, a whole new lot of awarenesses, or, whatever, however it wants to come through, right? I'm ready to regift life again with me. And this place where we alchemize all of our light together through our being and through our body is a beautiful moment. And this is the other thing I want to let you know is sometimes we feel so fractured that we don't feel like all our light's on side. We don't feel all of our light is birthing through us. We don't feel like we're one revolutionary force. We feel a bit fractured, like we have some positive thoughts and we know we've done this course and we've got this gift and talent, but we haven't quite worked out how it fits in our life now. And we've done, we know we've done some, I don't know, some traumatic screaming to release some stuff, but it still feels like I haven't been put back together. I haven't alchemized my new sense of light so that I can re-gift it back to life. And this is the other little key, and maybe we need to do an activation here, is because number one, people don't see, feel, notice, or just deeply know that all the light that they've worked towards is existing in their body like beautiful bricks and bricks and bricks and strong energy of light. And we haven't, and number two is we haven't learned to identify ourselves from that place. Instead, we learn to identify ourselves from our criticism, or we learn to identify ourselves from our sabotage or whatever, or from our labels. I've got ADHD, or I've got whatever the label is. We've learned to identify from there, but not from these bricks of light that exist within us, right? Number three is that we haven't learned to breathe this deep sense, this true identity that we are, this soul brilliance that we are through our body, through our eyes, through our nose, through our ears, through our cells, to embody it, to feel our light can move through us, right? Because we're birthing our soul through our body. This is part of the journey, right? The journey is to birth our soul into our body and into life. That's the journey. Like there is no other path, right? That's why you shift and clear all this stuff out. That's why you build your blocks of light inside of you so you get to know who you are on a soul level. That's why you choose to identify yourself from the truth of your being, not from all the conditioning and the genetic stuff, right? You choose to identify yourself from there. That's why you then go on a journey of embodiment where you learn to breathe you back through your body. And number four is when all of this somehow comes together. There is a moment where it all coalesces and alchemizes inside of you. And you get this shift, this moment where you're like, this is who I really am. This is what I'm meant to do. This is my true position in life. This is what I'm here to gift the world and revolutionize the world with. And this moment of alchemization of embodied soul, right? Embodied soul is the moment of your own unique brilliance and your own unique genius starting to take position in reality, right? And this is the moment we're wanting to get to, where I have built so much light inside of me. I really feel here, sense who I truly am, and I honor that, and I follow that. I embody this so that I glow with my frequency. Like I know exactly who I am. I know my boundaries. I know who I am, who I'm not. I know myself so deeply. And then there's a moment where we alchemize all of this together, all of our gifts, our talents, our learnings, our wisdoms, our awarenesses, and it just coalesces. And then from that, our genius, our unique our who we are as unique beings gets to exist. And this moment is beautiful. It's particularly beautiful if you're a coach, if you're a healer, if you're a teacher, if you're a leader, if you're a creator, because it means that you have arrived at the point where your genius, your uniqueness is able to exist as an offering into this world. And this is key. This is part of the mastery of awakening. This is part of the mastery of ascension. This is a part of the mastery of you embodying your soul brilliance. This is part of the mastery of becoming a conscious creator, a co-creator, right? is when all of this coalesces and alchemizes and your genius gets birthed, you get to gift the world with the thing, the dharmic thing that you were meant to deliver here, with that unique gift, with that unique teaching, with that unique technique, with that unique book, with that, I don't know, with maybe you've come up with a video game that is going to revolutionize the way people think and play. Maybe you come up with uh, I don't know, a particular protein bar or something that is going to change the way people bodies behave. Do you know, this is the moment we're after. It's so easy. And I think this is the key of everything, maybe what I'm here to say, because I was like, I could feel my energy is wanting to burst with information. And sometimes, to be honest, I don't even know what's going to come through, right? But I think everything just so feels so lit up is this genius points is what we're after. And I need to let you know this because sometimes we need direction. Sometimes we need a coordinate to orientate ourselves towards, or a coordinate that allows ourselves to go, this is the place that I need to keep moving towards, right? This is the place I need to keep moving towards. This is the place that I know I'll become. This is the moment that I'm going to wait, this blossoming of my genius, this blossoming of my unique frequency, this blossoming of how I deliver the light to this world. It is the magical moment that I'm working towards. And it can happen spontaneously. And it can happen through years of contemplating and reflecting. And sometimes it can just give you a little moment of geniusness. This is what you're doing. And sometimes it's like, this is what you're doing, this is what you're doing. And then you have like a whole week of it. And then you're like getting all these ideas and this experience and this like visions. And you know, you get downloads of how you should be and what you should be doing. And then all of a sudden, you've set yourself on a new path, on the path that you were meant to be. And this is beautiful, right? And it can take years. Like it's taken me on some level, I think, years to keep letting this genius part of me flower. Like it flowers, like it's, like this little bud that's like, here's a little spark of it. This is a little feeling. This is a little direction. This is a little knowing. And then it like, right. And then a little bit more, maybe a month or two later, and then a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, it gets easier for that part of us to awaken, and it gets easier for that part of us to communicate with us. It gets easier for that part of us to stimulate our neural pathways so we think in a new way, or it gets easier for our nervous system to handle the voltage of it, right? And as this genius part, sometimes we get triggered and our stuff comes up that needs to heal so we can really embody it, and you know how the journey goes, right? But this is what we're working towards. And in these moments of this genius part of us awakening is really the moment where the genius of the universe can work through us. And this is important. And this is why you go on a journey to surrender your ego. This is why you go on a journey to surrender your limiting beliefs. This is why you go on a journey to heal and upgrade your body, so you can handle the genius of the universe flowing through you, so that you are clever enough and aware enough of reality, and you have developed enough skill inside of you. You've done the training, you've done the study, you've done the healing, so the genius of the universe can move through you in its purity. You can gift the world with what you were meant to gift the world with. You can revolutionize the world in the way that you were meant to revolutionize it. This is beautiful. Can you let the genius of the universe pass through you? Can you allow your own genius to pass through you? It's that point where you have developed enough light within you from the perspective of your uniqueness, from the perspective of your soul, that the universe can only deliver its this particular genius through your system. This is what we're wanting to get to. This is what we're wanting to chase. This is what we're working towards. This is the moment of co-creation. This is the moments where you get to play at a whole other level with life. And everything that you've done before is going to serve you to get to this moment. Every awakening builds upon the next awakening. Every choice of light builds upon the next choice of light. Every bit that you've studied builds upon to give you the practical experience, the practical awareness to actually manifest it into physical reality, because that genius is not just an idea or like a little inspiration. It's something that needs to manifest into life. And let me tell you, it's very easy to have these moments of ahas or these inspirations or these visions. It's a whole other thing to get your whole system and body and life to a point where you're letting your own genius and the genius of the universe flow through you. And trust me, it's a whole other level to apply that to create it into physical reality. That's a whole other game. Right? That's where the truest mastery is where this moment of genius awakens, and we have been diligent enough, disciplined enough to learn the skills to bring it into physical reality, where we have learnt to work with the mechanics of life so that we can flow with the way that the universe is, so that we can really bring our things into manifestation. Because sometimes we want to bring these things into manifestation, we know what they are, but sometimes life's like, just wait. You just have to wait for this to clear. Now you can go. Now you need to go find some people. Now you need to, so sometimes it can take time to build it into physical reality, but it requires skills, and it requires you to be in time with and in communication with the universe to help you come into alignment with it more and more and more, so that it can manifest into physical reality. So this is the path. This is the path, and it's beautiful, and it's challenging, and it requires you to be a warrior, and it requires you to own your intelligence, and it requires you to be savvy, and it requires you to be patient and compassionate, and it requires you to believe in yourself and believe in the light that you've built, and believe in your path, and believe, or maybe even it's choosing that this is the path and this is the direction. And I share this with you because it is part of human evolution to do this. And as we all evolve more and more and more and more on this path of embodying our soul's brilliance, as in what I've just said, which is why all my teachings wrap around embodying your soul's brilliance, which is, this is the basis of it all. My certifications, my retreats all wrap around this concept in many different ways, right? The more we do this as a collective, the easier it's going to be, because this is the path. I've been watching energy for a long time, right? I've been studying it, I've been listening, this is the path. Now, some of us, we can go through these cycles in smaller ways and in bigger ways, where we know we build up the light, we get a genius awakening, and we manifest it. And sometimes the universe lets us have these like little cycles of these moments and these little kinds of experiences, but it's not actually the biggest experience we're going to have. So sometimes you might be already on this path and you're like, well, yeah, I have studied, and I'll give you an example of me. I think this might be the easiest way. Yeah. So I learned to be a nutritionist. I learned to be a theta healer. I had an amazing Kundalini awakening in my body, which changed my whole perception of female body and sexuality and all of that stuff. I had all this amazing things. Then I was like, oh, I need to teach people this. And I want to go online. So I had to go learn a whole lot of online skills to create an online course for females, for women around this, right? And this was about maybe 6 years ago. And I learned technology, and I learned how to upload things, and I learned how to connect my Stripe, and I learned how to do launches, and I learned how to do copy of emails and all this stuff to sell the product, to actually bring it into physical manifestation. I had to learn so many skills. And I was like, well, actually, I want to do a live retreat. And I had to learn a lot of skills of how to set up a retreat and bring people to retreat. But this all happened 6 years ago. And this was all training for me to then bring in certifications, for me to bring in a whole lot of other next level things. So sometimes we get these moments where we are stepping into our co-creation, or our genius that needs, we're aware of it, and the co-creation process of manifesting it into reality. And we have these like little, what was the best word to use? Little, um, give me a word, universe. Little, like training wheels, like, like you put training and you have a little test and you have a little play and you get confident. And then all of that skill then keeps building and building, so that when you do come into real full alignment with your genius self, bam, you are the leader. You know exactly what to do. You know exactly who needs to be on your team. You know exactly what needs to be said, because you've learned the power structures. You've learned success. You've learned achievement. You've learned how to do it it's in a smaller way, so that you can do it in a bigger way. And so I guess the thing that the universe wants to tell you is that everything that you've done, everything that you've created, every vision that you've tried to manifest already, and maybe it's kind of come true, maybe it hasn't quite, maybe did something else, right? But all of that matters. They're all part of the building blocks. They're all part of the learnings. They're all part of the experiences, so that, again, that moment where you're like, your experience, your skill, your knowledge alchemizes, it's got a bigger playing field to play at, right? And this is where we get to move mountains, because you can play at a bigger field. You can play in a bigger way. You've got the confidence to make bigger moves, or to know what to do or when, right? And this is fun. And we're constantly doing this, right? In big ways, in small ways. So I want to express this to you, so that you feel goddamn proud of who you are and where you're going. And that you know that you are magnificent. And that you know that the light inside of you is magnificent. And that you know you're here to do amazing, revolutionary things. And sometimes we're just needing for our light to alchemize inside of us, so that that genius part can awaken. And sometimes we just need to allow these parts of us to exercise through us, like little moments of genius, or little moments of manifestation, or little moments of constantly choosing our truth, because it all builds and strengthens our system. And this is what makes great leaders. This is what makes great teachers. This is what makes great creators, right? This is what makes people revolutionary. And this is inside of you. It's inside of you. So just feel that and notice that. Your light is magnificent. It really, 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 really is. I think that's all I needed to say. How's everybody going? Sorry, sometimes it just comes through and I just need to say it. Hello, hello, hello. If you've got any questions, you can write it into the chat. Rise with Ruchi says she can feel the talk is activating feminine codes on me. So beautiful. Beautiful. So maybe write into the chat what's come through for you, or maybe there's something that you've noticed about yourself, or maybe you just feel some part of you activating, because really all this is an activation to rewire you, to rewire your body, your codes, the way that the path that you take. The path that you take. But yeah, I just had to pass that on. It's funny how these things want to come through sometimes. So yeah, let me just see if there's anything else, or let me know how you're going in the chat. And I'm fascinated with people who are ready to play at this level. So if you are a coach or a teacher or a healer or a speaker or a leader, or you know that's your path, then I would love to work with you too, because sometimes you need to be held in a container or held in a support vortex that alchemizes you, you know, that where we can alchemize you quickly, where we can rebuild your light quickly, where we can re-embody you quickly, where we can layer all your skills inside of you and get these moments where it alchemizes quickly. So if you're someone who wants to fast track this, you can feel this buildup of yourself, this buildup of your I'm meant to be here, I'm meant to exist, I know I'm meant to bless, and I know I've been on this path, and I know I'm ready to, like, the genius is ready to come through, and I'm ready to begin. If this is where you're at, I would love to work with you, and I do one-to-one private coaching. I do have some other courses that would support you as well, but come and get in contact, because I know that there are some people that need that they're ready to fast track this. You know, they're ready to download their unique cosmology. They're ready to gift the world with their unique teachings. And you know, I've taught 240 life classes. I've done 15,000 hours of private healing sessions. I know how the human body works. I know how to deliver works, creations to help raise reality. And I've also built $1 million business as well. So I also know how to put it into physical reality in many different ways. So yes, if this is you, then come and DM me. This is a beautiful opportunity for you, because there are certain people I know I'm meant to be working with. I can feel it in my cells. I'm like, we are meant to fast track you. We're meant to, like, move you through a journey, a gateway, so that you can arrive here. So yes, if that's you, then definitely get in contact or come and explore my work. So we have I'm as yes, I'm going through a shift these days. The sound of a vortex to keep me grounded through the transformation will be very helpful. I'm ready for an activation. Yes, I look forward to it. Yes, yes, yes. So what I'm going to do is, if you keep your eyes peeled, I'll bring out two offerings. One is to work deeper with me over a 3 or 6 month period, and one is to have a 90-minute session with me, and it'll include a soul purpose online course as well. So I'll organize that in the background, but that's also available for you, because sometimes you just need that one magical session, right? That's transforms you. So good to connect with everybody. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for joining. And if you're on the replay, a big kiss and a hello. Just checking through the chats again. Beautiful. Sending you the biggest wave of love. Thank you so much for being here. I feel like my cells are like, ugh. Oh, let me give you two things before I go. One is an embodiment exercise, because it's very easy. You just need to, on the exhale, just exhale up to the heavens, up to light. Open up your hands and say, "Oh God," and breathe out. And in that, you connect your exhale to the light molecules in reality. And then on the inhale, you're going to bring all that light back to you and say, "I am alive." It's so easy, and it's so, like, energizing, and it's very centering. You just kind of open yourself up and go exhale and go, "Oh God," and you connect to all the light, and you inhale, "I am alive." And again, exhale, oh God, or whatever words you want to use. And then you can go, "I am alive." And do this a few times, and a few things happen. Automatically, you become more centered, and automatically, you get a beautiful coordinate that says, "I come from heaven, and I'm living heaven here in my life." Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, it's just good to connect. And I just pulled out, sorry, I'm just chatting away here now. I'm just pulling out a card from my oracle deck. And the card that's come up is counsel. And I guess it's come up is because the only person you should be counseling with, the only person you should be getting, or the only thing you should be getting guidance from, or connecting with, or communicating with, is your own soul light. Learn this first. Forget connecting to spirit guides and all these other things and the trees and the la 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 la. And I know it's fun and they have their purpose, but make this a priority. Connect first with your soul. Connect first to hear it, know it, translate the energy of it, translate its messages, because this is the ultimate guide in your life. Hmm. Gorgeous, beautiful people. Mother, father, our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our families, the winds, the waters, the earth, the sea, the lands, the birds, the bees, the trees, the sun, the moon, the stars, the sky. We thank you for who we are and who we are all becoming. Have a great day and just know this burst of light. Like, maybe you just need to receive this burst of light. And, sorry, I probably should have said this to you before. Just this transmission is an activation. Let it move through you. Dance with it, move it, breathe it. Just you just embrace it more and more and more and more and more.